A woman I know, she consults for several luxury retail brands in the city, bought a pair of wide-leg trousers she loved in the store. Dark charcoal, beautifully cut, the kind that looks effortless on the rack. She wore them with a crisp white blouse, a structured bag, clean shoes. She felt polished leaving the apartment. She looked at photographs from that evening and felt genuinely confused. Something was off. She looked wider, shorter, somehow heavier than she'd felt, and she couldn't identify a single thing she'd done wrong. She hadn't done anything wrong. She'd done something uninformed, and there's a difference. Wide-leg trousers are one of the most powerful silhouette tools a woman over 40 can own, but only when you understand 5 very specific principles that govern how the eye reads them. Most women are working against those principles without knowing it, and the result is an outfit that undermines them every time they wear it. Today, I'm giving you all 5. The exact mistakes elegant women never make, and precisely what they do instead. Before we get into it, I have a free gift for you. I've read a lot of comments asking for this, so I built a checklist around it. The Elegant Morning Routine Checklist. 12 rituals of women who are timeless, healthy, and undeniable after 40. It's the morning architecture that puts everything I described today into daily practice. Cortisol protection, protein-first nutrition, movement, silence, grooming standards, and the identity rituals that make all of it sustainable. Every page is a deliberate act of self-respect. See the first link in the description to grab it free, or scan the QR code if you're watching on TV. When you get it, email me your takeaway. I love reading those. Now let's get into today's 5. 1. Dark trousers and a light top. Most women put the work on the wrong section. Almost every woman who owns a dark wide-leg trouser pairs it with a lighter top, and she's not wrong to do it. But I'm going to show you why most women are using that contrast in the least effective direction. First, understand what contrast actually does visually. The human eye is drawn to light before dark, always. A stylist I know who dresses executives and public figures in New York explained it to me this way. Wherever you place the lightest element in an outfit, that is where a stranger's eye arrives first and lingers longest. Dark recedes, light advances. A pale blouse on top draws the eye immediately to the upper body and holds it there, which means if the upper body carries more volume than you'd prefer to emphasize, a light top is working directly against you. I watched this play out at a board dinner last spring. 2 women, similar builds, both in dark wide-leg trousers. One wore a cream blouse, the other wore a deep navy tucked top with a single strand of gold at the collarbone. The second woman read as significantly leaner, taller, and more composed. The only difference was where the light sat. Resolve. If you want the wide-leg trouser to do its slimming work on the lower body, keep the top dark or tonal and let one small bright element, a piece of jewelry or a scarf at the collarbone, do the job of drawing the eye upward without flooding the entire upper body with light. The trouser recedes. Your height advances. And here's where most people stop, because correcting the top still leaves one mistake that photographs expose instantly, even when the mirror doesn't. 2. If the trouser makes you look shorter in photographs, this is why. The camera doesn't lie, but it also doesn't explain itself. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening. But first, there's something you need to understand about how the eye reads a hem. When a wide-leg trouser hem sits next to a pale shoe or a bare ankle, the contrast between the dark fabric edge and the light surface beneath it creates what visual artists call a hard termination line, a sharp horizontal boundary that the eye reads as the end of the leg. The brain processes that line as a ceiling, not a continuation. A researcher studying visual proportion in fashion design described it to me this way. The eye doesn't measure actual leg length. It measures the length of the unbroken dark column. The moment that column stops against a contrasting surface, the height stops with it. A woman in my network, a corporate attorney who made partner at 38 and is meticulous about how she presents in client settings, told me she'd been shortening herself by 2 visual inches for years, simply by wearing nude or white shoes with her dark trousers. One conversation with a stylist, one change to a dark pointed toe shoe, and every photograph from that point forward read entirely differently. Resolve. Match your shoe tone as closely as possible to your trouser. A dark trouser with a dark shoe creates one unbroken vertical line the eye follows all the way to the floor. That uninterrupted column is what makes a woman look genuinely tall, not her actual height. But here's where most people stop. Fixing the hem while ignoring the proportion relationship that determines whether the whole silhouette reads as lean or heavy. 3. The wrong order of darkness. Top to bottom is adding visual weight you don't have. Most women choose their trouser shade for the trouser. I'm going to show you why the trouser shade only makes sense in relationship to what sits above it. But first, understand the principle. The eye reads an outfit as a single shape before it reads the individual pieces. And the direction of value, light to dark or dark to light, moving top to bottom, determines whether that shape shape reads as grounded and lean or as heavy and base-weighted. Research on visual mass perception in fashion studies found consistently that outfits darker at the top and lighter at the bottom created a top-heavy visual impression, while the reverse, lighter at the top, darkening toward the hem, produced a leaner, more grounded silhouette that observers rated as both slimmer and more elegant. I spent 15 years as a buyer and consultant for luxury brands with European operations, and I watched this principle applied, without anyone naming it, in every showroom presentation I attended. The pieces that photographed as effortless were almost always darker at the base. It wasn't coincidence, it was architecture. This is exactly what the Undeniable's complete system covers in detail. 7 complete guides: identity, presence, first impression, social mastery, wellness, standards, and your morning ritual. Everything the most elegant, vital, and undeniable version of you need built into one system for less than a dinner out. It's linked in the description below, or scan the QR code on your screen. Resolve. Build your wide leg trouser outfit from dark hem upward, the deepest tone at the trouser, a mid-tone or muted shade at the top, and the lightest element only at the very top, near the face. This is the order that makes a silhouette read as intentional and lean every time. But correcting the silhouette still leaves one piece most women never consider, the one the trouser was always supposed to produce, but rarely does. 4. The effortless stride doesn't come from the cut, it comes from the step. This is the part almost no styling guide discusses, and once you understand it, you'll see it everywhere. I'm going to be about it. A wide leg trouser is designed to move with the body and produce what designers call fluid stride, a long, continuous sweep of fabric with each step that reads as confident and unhurried. But that movement only works when the step itself is long enough to drive it. A short, careful step, which research from the University of Delaware on gait changes in women over 50 confirms, becomes the natural default as proprioception and hip flexor flexibility quietly decrease with age, produces a narrow, choppy movement that makes a wide leg trouser look uncertain rather than elegant. The fabric doesn't sweep, it shuffles. A movement coach I was introduced to through a mutual contact in New York told me that teaching a woman to lengthen her stride by even 30% produces a more dramatic improvement in overall presence than almost any wardrobe change, because the body's movement is what the eye follows after the initial impression is formed. Resolve. Practice a deliberate lengthened stride, specifically when wearing wide leg trousers. Lead each step from the hip, not the knee. The fabric needs the full movement to do its job, and when it gets it, the result is exactly what the silhouette was designed to produce. But there's one final piece, the one that determines whether the trouser commands the outfit or competes with it. 5. Your top is not decorating the trouser. It is competing with it. Here is the complete picture, and then I'll bring it all together. A wide leg trouser is a statement silhouette. Its visual weight is high, broad, substantial, designed to be seen. When the top matches that weight, busy print, strong pattern, high contrast detail, bold color, the eye has no hierarchy to follow. Both pieces demand attention simultaneously, and the brain, unable to resolve the competition, registers the outfit as cluttered rather than composed. I once wore a pair of wide-leg ivory trousers with a printed silk blouse I loved separately, confident it would work because both pieces were expensive and elegant on their own. A photograph from that evening told a different story. A friend who works in visual merchandising looked at it and said, without cruelty, both pieces are fighting. She was right, neither one. The complete framework. Keep the top quiet when the trouser is the statement. A tonal, muted, or solid top that surrenders visual authority to the lower half. Dark trouser, dark or tonal top with one light element near the face only. Match the shoe to the trouser to extend the vertical line to the floor. Build from dark at the hem, lighter toward the top. Lengthen the stride so the fabric moves with the intention it was cut to produce. And resolve the competition between top and trouser before you leave the house. One of them must lead. In a wide leg trouser, it is always the trouser. These habits don't just change how people see you, they change how you see yourself. Once you know what to look for, you cannot unsee it. You now have the 5 principles that determine whether a wide leg trouser works for you or quietly works against you. The next step is the complete roadmap. The Undeniable's complete system. 7 in-depth guides covering personal identity, presence, first impressions, social confidence, wellness, personal standards, and a powerful morning routine, all combined into one premium guide for women who are intentional about how they age. Everything you need to become your most elegant, vibrant, and confident self is gathered in one place. You'll find it linked in the description. Take a look there next. Stay subscribed. The women who show up to this channel consistently are the ones who actually change. I'll see you in the next one. Isabel.